or cut their prices, I think the activity will come. And the labor market will continue to hang in. But if they try and jack prices back up, it was very interesting to see FedEx, after turning positive in revenues and then turning negative year over year on revenues.
As of this writing, the cryptocurrency-based prediction market shows a 39% likelihood that a well-known figure could be identified as the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin. Among those frequently mentioned is Phil Zimmermann, a prominent cypherpunk developer known for the PGP encryption and privacy technology. His name has been linked to the ongoing mystery, especially since his death in July 2011 coincided with Nakamoto's final communication to Bitcoin developers, a striking coincidence that has fueled speculation. Polymarket suggests there's a strong chance that Zimmermann will be named as Bitcoin's creator in the upcoming HBO documentary.
It's been very interesting to watch the revisions in economic activity. Until this report, the revisions in the employment numbers had been down, and they were much weaker than had originally been reported. You know, we look at earnings reports and look at their revenues, and we're seeing a lot of companies showing negative revenues. So, you know, the headline numbers are heavily influenced recently, certainly in terms of some of the upward revisions in personal income by transfer payments, that's government stimulus, and interestingly, dividends. But not, if you look at the economy, the cyclical part of the economy is sick. It's sick. If you look at the sectors in the economy, one by one, they've been falling into a recession, no matter what the headline numbers say. Housing went down immediately when the Fed started raising rates. We're down 20 to 40% still. That's a recession. You've got non-residential construction in recession, those sectors, and then you've got the small and medium business sector. Their confidence is at 08-09 levels. And we've got certain pricing measures, certainly the cyclical ones, that have been deflationary, actually. So one thing that I do think is going on that is helping is as prices are coming down and the consumer's getting better and better deals, and they're spending. So I think that is sustaining. You know, a lot of people say real growth causes inflation. In this case, and actually in history, most times if you cut prices, you'll get more activity. The consumer, as long as the labor market hangs in here, and yes, today was very reassuring that way. As long as the labor market hangs in here, and companies like Walmart and Costco and auto companies either increase their discounts or cut their prices, I think the activity will come. And the labor market will continue to hang in. But if they try and jack prices back up, it was very interesting to see FedEx, after turning positive in revenues and then turning negative year over year on revenues, basically saying they're going to use prices to make it up. I think that's going to backfire. And I think during the next year, that many people will understand how deflationary the undercurrents are in the economy. Now, deflation is not always bad. Part of it is because of innovation, technologically enabled innovation. The car prices, EV prices are coming down. Their costs are coming down too. So I think there's a lot of confusion in terms of what's going on out there because productivity is stronger than expected, giving companies the latitude to cut prices and salvage margins. If that sustains, great. We're going to have to push it out because inflation did levitate as companies tried to price to make up for shortfalls in unit growth. It levitated in the 3.5% to 4% range. Now it's broken below 3%. And we're hearing more and more companies basically trying to attract consumer attention with lower prices. So yes, if you look at money growth on a year-over-year basis, it was negative for, I think, about a year and a half, maybe more. Money is a leading indicator for inflation, and we do believe that inflation will go much lower than people expect right now. Wouldn't be surprised to see it go negative, especially if the consumer is worried about job loss, whether because of AI and automation generally, or what have you. So the saving rate tends to go up during those periods. And that will mean, we believe, that companies will have to price even more aggressively. In terms of over 5% unemployment rate, we could see it. We could see it. I will say today gave me pause in terms of this productivity dynamic and sort of companies may not, if they get the productivity growth from existing employees, they may not feel like laying them off. They can lower prices to keep consumer demand going.
With over 11% of total bets placed in favor of CEO Adam Back, who was reportedly one of the first 2 individuals to receive an email from Satoshi before the Bitcoin white paper was published, interest is high. The late American software developer Hal Finney, who received the first Bitcoin transaction from Satoshi, garnered 3% of the total bets. The documentary Money Electric: The Bitcoin Mystery, which claims to unravel the biggest mystery on the internet, is set to premiere on Tuesday with a 23-minute runtime. Although October typically sees strong performance, the start of the month has been slow. However, analysts predict an uptick ahead. According to the on-chain analytics platform Arkham Intelligence, Nakamoto is believed to own about 1.1 million bitcoins, making him one of the richest individuals globally. Bitcoin is currently aiming to close the week above $62,500, a significant rise from the recent low of just under $66,000. The CME Group's FedWatch tool indicates a 97% chance that the Federal Reserve will lower rates by 25 basis points at their meeting on November 7th, which could positively impact cryptocurrency markets as a rate cut is expected to boost risk sentiment. Additionally, crypto data suggests that the declining amount of Bitcoin held on centralized exchanges, now around 2.8 million, could serve as another catalyst for a rebound.
This is on innovation, and something very important happened this past year. We were very concerned that excessive regulation was driving innovation off our shores, particularly when it came to crypto or digital assets. We've had a very hostile regulator, and the same, I would say, is true of the FTC in terms of denying M&A, because that has prevented a lot of innovative companies from enjoying liquidity events by selling out to bigger companies. I think we're hearing from both candidates that those 2 jobs are on the line, maybe for that reason. And we're seeing more alignment that innovation solves problems, and so we should not discourage it. So from that point of view, I'm happy to see the bipartisan movement here. We'll favor lower regulations every day when it comes to innovation. I don't think tariffs are a great thing at all for innovation and for economic activity. So there's something on both sides that will give us pause. But the most important thing is the biggest impediments to innovation. We think that we're developing clarity around what's going to happen at the SEC and the FTC. So here I'm going to revert to being the CEO of a company where, I'm representing both sides, and I'm focusing, therefore, on innovation, which is of primary concern to us. And I've given you a sense of where we think both sides are on innovation. Regulations, the one that will lower more regulations, because regulations are strangling this economy, strangling small business, strangling big business. That's a very important one. Tariffs would be harmful as well. So